Welcome. It is a rainy morning in Texarkana. This is a glorious Tuesday, like always, here at the Michelob Fan Cave, whatever they call it. I don't know. But we're here. We have a special guest. His name is Chase Brewster. He is the head coach. He's the manager. He's the owner. He's everything of your favorite player's favorite travel baseball team. But I don't really know if it's travel, though. It's more of a program lifestyle sort of thing. It's like, why play anywhere else?
That's the slogan.
It's a great day to be a Stick.
I think so, too.
On draft day, Chase really pops that. He really talks that talk.
Now I got a shirt.
Boy, me too. I'm wearing it in the next tournament. My chest out.
We good to go.
Oh, yeah. I love it, MLB draft day, because there's how many rounds?
It's 20 now. COVID moved it to 20.
But you get to talking early that first day when your guys start coming off the board.
Right.
And I like that because, Chase gets them in and hanging out.
Yeah.
So, man, introduce yourself.
Yeah, man. First of all, appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks, bro.
Want to make sure that we brought gifts on behalf of the Styx and just, appreciate. I know I speak for everybody in the city when I say I appreciate everything you guys do for the kids and just for everybody. It was miserable getting up at 5 o'clock this morning, but it was worth it. And if I can keep her out of getting me, I got a little bit of media training. If I can keep her out of getting me to answer any questions I don't want to, it'll be a good day, man. But,
absolutely,
that's the hard part. Huh?
Man, the story and the introduction, it is what it is. Just at the core, just Texas High graduate, Texarkana College graduate, Texas A&M, Texarkana graduate, and little because of not having a lot of options, and little because I wanted to, but love the city, and just want to get back, man. Getting older is a weird thing, about to be 34 in May. I want to do everything I can to make the city a better place, and want to be around people in my circle that feel the same way, and want to be a mentor and a role model. And, that's kind of what we tried to build Styx on, and I know that's what you guys tried to, build your show on, and just trying to do something positive. So I think that the story changes every year. It's a lot of chapters. Hopefully there'll be a lot more chapters left, but the chapter I think right now is just trying to take Styx in the direction of where we want to see the youth head, and just try to treat everybody right, man, and try to love them when they need loving, and be hard on when they need to, somebody to be hard on them, and try to help everybody get into college, man. I think I'm not going to sit here and say college is for everybody. That ain't my decision. It was really good for me, and it was a great experience. But the ones that do want to play in college, we want to make sure they get a chance, and hopefully everybody get a chance to do it for a living like I do. And, whether it's owning a program or playing or broadcasting or whatever, it's a lot of avenues out there to do that. So we just want to help provide those opportunities.
Absolutely, man. I ain't gonna lie. A few years ago, we were somewhere, me and my guys with the little football stuff. We were sitting somewhere watching Arkansas baseball, and it was during maybe College World Series time or Super Regionals in Fayetteville, and they were talking about there's a baseball program in the state of Arkansas, and a lot of these guys, Connor Nolan, Tollett, or whatever.
Tollett.
All these kids, they were naming all. They play for a team called Styx here at Arkansas, and they were talking about how the Styx program is a direct correlation to the success that Dave Van Horn is, because he can recruit your guys pretty easily. You don't got to fly to IMG or fly to California, to check out the kids or something. But that is some pressure. That is some influence. I want to talk about all that.
Zach Morris was on the mound. Phil made a nice comment. I haven't got to meet Phil in person, but we were very appreciative. It meant a lot. We were actually watching. We just happened to have the game on, and the clips on social media and all that. But I think at the core we've had a lot of really good players. I mean, it's easy to build relationships and do these things. Zach Bottles told me one time. He said, "Hey, you'll have all the friends in the world while you have really good players." And I'd like to think it's a little deeper than that, but I think we've been really honest. Coach Van Horn's been what I consider a great friend and a mentor to me. He worked at Texarkana College. It's kind of his first job, I think. So he's got some ties here. And Nate and Coach Hobbs and all those guys, they've been really good to me. And Vitello and them when they were there, we built real relationships. And they know, I think, when we go to bat for someone, they're good players, they should watch. They don't take everybody. I wish they did. And they've let some of the best players we've ever had have had to transfer out of there. And we had a guy hitting the 10 hole for me in the fall that ended up starting for him. And so you never know how it's going to end. But I just think it's not, the story isn't for me or the Styx to send guys anywhere. The story is that we're honest. Mm-hmm. And I think, with what you do in your relationships, I hope you probably feel the same way. But I think anything is attainable if we've done it before. You look at our list of alumni, you look at who's got drafted, you look at what schools they go. If somebody came to me and they said, Coach, I want to play at South Carolina or I want to play at Utah, hey, it'd be a little tougher because I don't have the relationships there of the truth and the integrity that I think we have at like University of Arkansas. We call those guys. And the kids, luckily they get up there and they know how to work hard. A lot of good high school coaches in the area and the state. And if you play for a guy like Riley Fincher or John McClure or just whoever, I mean, a lot of them know that, hey, you're going to have to get in the weight room and you're going to have to live right off the field and do a lot of things. So at the end, the kids have made it really easy. There's no pressure to me. The pressure is the NCAA has made the scholarship situation a nightmare. They've made the numbers a nightmare. COVID made it worse. So I think the pressure is just trying to fit all the pieces in a puzzle. And it's going to be good players left out. It just is. It's very unfortunate. We've had guys have to transfer that are great players, draft picks. And it's not for everybody, and they ran a tight ship up there. But I don't think there's any pressure on our end. The pressure is for the players. It's not for the University of Arkansas. It's not for whoever. It's to make sure our kids get a degree.
Well, I mean, Arkansas is just one of them. LSU, Arizona State, obviously. I mean, the list goes on and on.
San Jack.
Yeah, San Jack. Another question I got, because something I've been thinking about. Yeah. We got you on real quick, but over the weekend, I was thinking like some high school football coaches in the state were a little upset with me or whatever, and I'm like, some kids may have missed the second half of their basketball game. I didn't tell them to, or whatever, and so the high school coach, right? He's an integral figure. He's a needed figure. He's a positive role model. He is a father to a lot of young men. But sometimes when there's influence, that person gets a little territorial or upset. I remember I was working at the newspaper, and I'm not going to say your name, Coach, so you don't got to get scared. So they were just mad at you. Oh, man, why do kids want to play for Styx? And I was just... me being just a reporter, I was just like, well, maybe because he knows that they're going to get offered or they're going to be seen and they're going to get a perfect game rating.
Get that exposure for sure.
Yes. You're not going to get that playing Lafayette County here or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they were mad at me. They called Josh and was mad. And I'm like, man, come on, man. So how do you keep that person happy?
I just think
because you've been a college coach. I mean, a high school coach.
Everybody's goals are different. Like we were lucky enough to win 2 state championships. We won, 5 regionals, 4, conference championships, 7-year span. Yeah. So, like, if I had never won one, or I'm trying to win another one, that was my day-to-day job. Yeah, I probably would be upset that our kids love being a part of, something else, I guess. But I just think, to me, it's all a circle. It's a vehicle. It's one of those things where it takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not trying to, the last thing I want to do is get crossed over any high school coach.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the city, we love everybody. I don't think it Styx or your high school. I don't think you have to pick one or the other. I mean, we don't play until they're done playing. And,
absolutely.
I hope they all win state championships. And I'm getting old enough. I mean, Coach McClure was there when I was in high school. Me and Zach Fowler, played basketball together. And I can remember, being in the 7th grade, and Riley was the quarterback at Texas High. I mean, I'm
Riley Fincher's from Texarkana?
Yeah, went to Texas High.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm
gonna have to call him up. I didn't know that.
It's a really great group of people, man. And I got respect for. Well, they got respect for me. Mm-hmm. That's up to them. I can't really control what people feel. All I control is how we treat people and we do things right, and we try to. I would be very upset if. I'd be mad if a kid came to me and said, hey, I ain't gonna play for my high school this year, but I'm playing in the summer. I say, hey, go win a state championship. Winning is fun. Being the male campus.
But I can see why.
Yeah, but
I want to go to Jupiter. I want to go to Key West. I want to be a Stick. And it ain't about winning trophies with y'all. y'all get offers.
It's a lot of hours in the day. I mean, we do a lot of things. I mean, and really, school kids that go to good schools that don't play have gotten offers, and kids that go to bad schools have gotten offers. I mean, I don't think there's any one, right path to doing this. And if I knew 100% we could do it this way, then I'd make a lot more money. I'd do a lot of different things. But there's not. I mean, it's just a situation where every kid's different, and I think it's very important for anybody listening to know the high school season matters for so many reasons. But one of them is you still got to be ready to play in the summer.
Absolutely,
you can be uber talented, you can be so talented. Hey, we got Arkansas coming, we got all these guys coming. But if you hadn't had a good season and you ain't played for a guy like Coach McClure, Coach Fincher, Coach Fowler that has you ready to play in the summer, it's not gonna matter who we call. So anybody listening. If anybody did feel like that, hopefully that was, 10 years ago when I was a lot younger and nobody knew. But I hope that, anybody that doesn't know me personally, that, I'll reach out to them, reach out to me. And just my thing is anybody listening, we're all on the same page. I want everybody to win it. I want Texas to win a little more because I'm an alumni and I'm proud to be a Tiger. It's a great experience. But, I don't think it's to me, it ain't a competition.
Yeah.
We've turned Styx into a fraternity. We've turned it into you walk in the mall or Walmart, there's a lot of shirts being worn. I think that's great, but I think it's great to see heart and soul everywhere. And, whatever LE slogan is, the Texas slogan. I mean, I just think, hey, anything we can keep, kids playing athletics, playing baseball, playing 7-on-7 football. I mean, it ain't a bad thing.
Right.
I think Cam Reitner played Friday night baseball at Texas High, went and, played 7-on-7 Saturday. And if we'd have had Styx on Sunday, it came to that too. And that's a lot better than the alternative sometimes.
Absolutely.
And that's just one of the many kids I know. I just happened to see he did it this weekend. But man, we don't want to be competition. We got a lot of competition, and people won't ever understand the amount of talent we have to play. But the high schools aren't one of them, in my opinion. It's all.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, it's just a next door neighbor. We're on the same street, trying to get the same goal,
trying to help
these kids. Oh yeah. So, I'm glad people want to play. I wish everybody did. It's not for everybody. It breaks my heart when a local kid don't want to play anymore. But I mean, I wish they all did. It's not, and everybody don't play with us. I wish they did, but the ones that do, we're gonna love up and get after it. And I hope they all get offers, but they still got to be able to play. I mean, we can get them to wherever they want to go. They still got to play when they get there, and the high school coaches are the ones really doing that. Getting them ready, in my opinion.
How much time do we have for our next commercial?
We got about 1:30.
I want to touch on how you help a lot of young minority men play baseball. We're going to talk about it before the break and after, but I know you're not selfish because one night you called me in the middle of the night asking for my homie in West Memphis phone number.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The baseball coach. And this kid didn't play for you. Yeah. You were helping one of your homies out.
Yeah, Curtis
Washington, who bounced around, plays at Purdue now, I think, or something like that.
He just signed.
Okay.
I don't even think Curtis knows that story. I mean, I don't really know Curtis like that. But one time Curtis, they had played in the regional maybe, or I don't know. They were awful, with all due respect. But Dirk Kenny just happened to see him, and they got beat 10-0, and he threw. And Dirk was like, "Hey, what's his story?" And I was like, "I got no idea." Yeah. And we just, Wes got involved when he was still at Arkansas. They wanted to know what kind of kid he was, what his story was. And I think Dad coached basketball maybe, and he played basketball growing up, and hadn't really ever played in the summer. And they just kind of asked me to find out, like, does he want to play baseball? Is he a good kid, whatever? And I forgot all about that. But, yeah, I mean.
His coach brought it up to me the other day. He was like, man, thanks again for hooking me up with that Styx guy. And I was like, oh, yeah. I think about that all the time because you got nothing from that. You got the kid didn't play.
I want nothing.
Well, you deserve something.
Nah, Curtis Washington get to play at Purdue, man. That's great.
Well, I mean, he played at Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas and Purdue. He played 2 Power 5 schools. He gonna play pro ball. Like, I don't. And that's the thing. It's like I would love to get on there one day and say, hey, I deserve credit, but it don't matter. Yeah, I mean, what matters is another kid got to do something they want to do. And I think that's what we all here for.
Yeah. We're finna go to commercial break, but we got Chase Brewster.
Yes, sir.
A big dog here in the studio with us, and we'll be back to the Power Hour after these pay some bills with these commercials.
But just necessary, the game itself, like the love I got for it, just fire. You feel me? Anytime I step out there, I'm ready to perform, put on the show.
Trust no skeezers on the beat, so I know it's slapping.
Welcome back to the Power Hour with Huff and Gill. Shout out our studio sponsors, Budweiser. I was on them buds like Jackson Mahomes was after the Super Bowl. And like Pat Sims like, we're on them Phillies.
We're on them Phillies.
We're on them Phillies. In Liberty Hollow High School, where Leopard Pride never dies, and I'm biased Liberty Hollow. We got the best baseball program in the city. We got the best baseball players in the city.
We're hitting the cow, man.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah.
Cameras.
We got cameras and stuff. My bad. I'm country.
Speaking of Elito, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
there was a playoff game tonight.
Me and Tyler will be calling the Canton versus Lady Leopards basketball game tonight in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I got to call and reserve our spot as soon as we get off.
Been did that one.
I should have did that yesterday. You're right, but I was a little tired.
It's all right.
Budweiser yesterday.
That's what it was.
Yeah. I woke up on them Budweisers.
And also, the boys will play PG.
Oh, yeah, tonight.
Hawk
Yeah.
Nation, Hawk Gym tonight.
Ah, man, they're going to have Josh Gibson on the front row with his face paint on again, looking like the ultimate warrior, man. He's kind of big. I better quit playing with little Josh, man.
Body slam
Oh,
somebody.
you hear me? You're going to bite your ankle. But, okay, so we have Styx founder and head coach,
Yes,
Mr. Chase
sir.
Brewster. And we were talking about...
I got a question, not to cut
What's
you
up?
off. I want to ask him
What's up?
this.
Boy, Earl won't let you get a word in there. You got to jump in.
I've been kind of this technical stuff over here kind of got my attention too, but kind of talk about what went into starting Styx. What went into it? Why? I ain't gonna say why, but what was your passion behind?
We were working at Genoa Central, and we had a great run. It was a lot of fun, but I'm not from Arkansas, so I can't really speak on what people in Central feel like. But the Central, in my opinion, didn't really care about the Southwest Arkansas kids. The Ashdowns, the Horatios, the Fordyce, the Smackover, and there were so many good players. I mean, 2 of the 3 state championships. That run. We played Fordyce, we played Smackover. I mean, these are all Southwest Arkansas kids, so they had nowhere to play in the summer, and that's literally how we started. I mean, we kind of started with just all Southwest Arkansas. A couple Pine Bluff kids on that first team. We had Connor Nolan from Greenwood, which was a great player, but we just kind of started organically of just like these kids really had nowhere to play. We're playing Dixie and Legion, and not that anything was wrong with that, but we wanted all the good players to play together, and we thought kind of the motivation was if we can get 15 really good players to kind of push each other, you're going to be able to tell it's not a fit for some. Some don't want to be pushed, and some can't get enough of it. And I've told this story before, but like the first time Connor threw for us, Jaden, he was like, "Hey, why Connor throwing so early before the game?" And I was like, "What are you doing his pregame routine?" And he said, "I was like, hey, what's your pregame routine?" He said, "Well, I kind of just go to the pen." And so from there, you got a curious kid from Ashdown around a vet, same age, seasoned vet, and Connor Nolan, number one playing the state. And so now Jaden, 3 months later, has learned, hey, this is how I prepare. I mean, and Connor taught him that without even knowing. So I think when you get really good players around each other, like we just started out with one team, and then it went to 2, and then it went to 5, then it went to 8, then it went to 14, and we got up to 25 at our height. But I think the core of it was just really good players want to play with really good players and kind of push each other. And those kids, man, and I guess we didn't either at that age. You learn so much without ever acknowledging or knowing it, just subconsciously. I mean, hey, I like that shirt, so I'm about to go get one because they're a little good in it. Or, hey, Connor was really successful today, so this must work. And And I think just, it's kind of grew like that. And I think that's been the blessing of it. But it started with just, I felt like really good players didn't have anywhere to play. And we had some in Genoa that didn't really have. I mean, like I said, they could have played some different situations, but it wasn't in the big events. And that's kind of how we started it.
So with having all of these successful guys and, sending hundreds of guys to the collegiate level, how do you keep them all level-headed and keep them humble-spirited guys? How is that for you?
I don't know that you can. I could get on here and say we do, and we do this, and we do that, but I'd be lying. I mean, it's people that'll fake it. I think we built something, especially like on our, in our team, like on my team, to where, hey, you can talk it, but it's gonna be embarrassing when you don't walk it now. And we've been fortunate enough to have a lot of camera crews with us and stuff like that. I mean, we try to videotape everything, just give them as good a situation as they can have. We want to be the leader in player experience, and we started our own podcast just for the players and stuff like that. So, hey, you can talk that you're the best player, but all of a sudden you ain't got no highlights for 2 weeks in a row to post. Right. And that Black Cobra Media and those guys been in the dugout all weekend. And I just think, hey, if you're a really good player and that's how you want to act, within reason, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're not gonna sit here and just let you be a fool and then cost yourself money. Yeah. But like you say what you want about Dion, but then Dion will go out there and say like, "Hey, it's all true," and it ain't for me to judge on who acts the way they want to act. I told a kid the other day. I said, hey, it's a difference between swag and look at me. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody needs their own swag. Everybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, what makes me different and what makes you different? I mean, that's who we are. You can call it what you want, but you got to get rid of the look at me, know, and I think we've done a good job of that. And I think it's a sport to where, hey, talking a little bit's going to happen. I mean, it's a lot of traveling, a lot of competition, a lot of alphas all in one dugout and a lot of alphas in that other dugout. It's going to happen. Yeah. And, it'll happen tonight at that LE basketball game. I mean, it's a lot absolutely. Of alphas that want to show everybody they're the best on the court, the best on the field. So I think I'd be lying if I said we keep everybody humble, but I think the game humbles them. I think the friends humble them, the situation. And like I said, we've kind of had zero problems in that department. So I hope that means it's working and that we're not just oblivious to it, because that happens sometimes too.
It's working.
So last year, you probably don't even care, but me and you were two of the most talked about and talked bad about people in the city for about a 3 to 4 month span. I'm going to tell you why. Because people talk bad about you, and I had to listen to some of it, and I was like, wait a minute, he's a friend of mine. Like, now we got to stop. And then I did what you did, and I was like, oh, no,
he bad too.
Boy. Okay, so you had some 8th graders, some really good 8th graders. You had one that went to an op school, and he got an Arkansas offer, might even committed.
He committed.
First 8th grade we ever had committed.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. He ain't my kid. He ain't come up out of me. He ain't come up out of you. Who cares?
Right.
So that people were, he never played. His commitment photo was a Styx uniform. Okay, so then a couple months later, we have this kid named Daquan Prevost, who, I mean, is one of the best freshman football players in the country. Like he's proven it. Yeah, and he got some early 8th grade offers, and I'm ruining this man's future, and I'm this. I'm like, what the old man say? I'm crowning him
crowning him too early.
Crowning him too early. So they was on you, then they got on me. I'm bad for football, you're bad for baseball, and we're bad for high school athletics.
Well, anybody listening, you feel free to say whatever you want about Earl, but I'd like to think that I'm a good guy.
Yeah, I think you are too.
Well, I appreciate that. My thing is, I don't know the schools that offer Prevost. I hope everybody offers them, because that'd be great for him. And, I don't know him, but I hope I hope he gets to pick what school he wants. But like in the situation with Spencer Browning, who his family means a lot to me.
Absolutely.
Kevin and Crystal, we actually double dating for Valentine's Day tonight with him and his parents. So it's not just a random kid that's pretty talented. It means a lot to me.
He's like family to you.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. And my thing is, now granted, like being like family, he'll tell you it comes with some pain of having a big brother too, because I've been hard on him, a lot harder than some other ones probably, and sometimes I feel bad. But my thing is, hey, it wasn't up to me. Would I like to sit here and say, oh, we did this and we did that? He went to a camp and he worked out with 2 junior college infielders, 2 20-year-olds. He was the best player on the field that day. bar nut at 14 years old. He a young kid. He ain't held back twice. I mean, he can't. I mean, he won't drive till he's a junior. And you know, I love Coach Van Horn. I mean, he holds the utmost respect in my world and my profession. Like, hey, nobody will call and say Coach Van Horn was wrong for offering him. I didn't do anything. I didn't make Arkansas do anything that they either didn't want to do or shouldn't have done. Because I promise you, if they'd have waited 6 months and went to LSU, everybody wanted to know why Dave let a Texas County kid get out. So, I mean, I think it's not up to me. I hate that people feel that way. And you know, Hunter Rose got offered Arizona State the other day.
I'm about to say, I was going to get on him too. That was real. As a ninth grader.
I saw like some comments that I thought was very, suspect in the fact that, like, hey, it just don't bring no value to it.
Yeah.
It don't bring no value. It don't make Hunter an all-state player. That means PG going to win a state championship. Somebody offered to him. It just says, like, hey, at 15, you're one of the most talented in your profession or whatever you want to call it, in your sport and your, you know, your line of duty. And like Willie Bloomquist played in the big leagues for a long time. Am I to tell Willie, like, hey, you're wrong? Hunter don't need to offer? It ain't up to me, man. It ain't up to, you know, Coach Gibson or you know, Coach Stanford, like all these guys getting football offers, Coach Brewer. It ain't up to any of us. I'll take it. Like, you can say whatever about me, but I can't make Arkansas do anything they don't want to do. And you can't make whoever university do whatever they don't want to do.
That's a fact.
There's some super talented kids out there. It's a different world right now.
It is.
It's a different world.
Thank you for saying that.
And hey, we can be mad for those 8th graders, or we can be extremely happy.
Yeah.
And maybe that keeps one of them out of jail. Or it keeps one of them from not working harder, from being big-headed. And I'll tell you, like, like, I'm not saying it's right. It's probably not right because he just a kid, man.
Yeah.
But, like, hey, he don't want to fall in those rankings. People say all rankings don't matter. But now he got some individual, some motivation that's going to help drive PG to win a state championship, hopefully for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the blessing in the disguise. And now he'll be the first to tell you, probably, if he is being honest, that there is a lot of pressure that comes with that. And you don't want nobody to know. And Prevo knows that as well. He's got to catch for 100 yards every Friday. They say he's overrated.
Yes.
And I hate that for those kids, but it's a lot better than being a bad player.
Yeah.
Pressure is a lot better than being a player that nobody wants, in my opinion.
Do you ever struggle with, did you make this pressure too hard on this? Because I do a lot.
No, in my opinion, I don't, because, like, I think, like, someone got a chance to play professionally.
Yeah.
And this ain't some random guy at Albertson's mad that Spencer Browning got an offer and stopping me in the lobby ain't no worse than when he opens up Twitter and somebody mad he went 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Or when he gets to the University of Arkansas and there's 15,000 people telling him he ain't no good.
Or 20 or 23 or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, I just think, hey, it's not a great situation for us 8th graders. And I wish it wasn't like that. I'll be the first to tell you. He's the only one we've ever had commit.
Yeah.
And I think some 9th graders shouldn't get offers because you don't know where you want to go. But I think when you live in a state like Arkansas where there's no professional program, hey, all of them want to go there. It don't matter.
Facts.
Anybody could offer Spencer. He's going to Arkansas. That's where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
And so why does he need to wait? Layton don't do nothing but hurt the University of Arkansas, because then those other 200 schools get a chance to get him.
That's true.
And I mean, so we can't be mad at them. We can't be mad at any of these young kids for wanting to get after him, man. It's a lot better to know where you're going than to not know where you're going.
That's true.
Well,
drop the mic on that.
Hold on, no, we're gonna get back on it when we come back. But we gotta pay some bills real quick with these studio sponsors.
We'll be right back.
Today.
Well, just necessary, the game itself, like the love I got for it, just fiery. Anytime I step out there, I'm ready to perform, put on the show.
This ain't no ESPN.
Fabe will bring your event to life. Call Fabe's mobile DJ service 903-748-7374. Fabe's mobile DJ service makes a good night better.
For guns, ammo, accessories, gunsmithing, and repairs, plus shooting training and practice, head to Alpha Defense Industries, formerly Texarkana Gun Barn and Range. Open every day except Monday. Alpha Defense Industries is west of Texarkana, off Highway 67 at County Road 1214.
The minute you pull up in front of the Boston General Store, your senses are on heightened alert.
Delicious smells emanating from within will draw you in, and quality menu items that smell and taste so good will have you coming back time after time.
The Boston General Store. Great food, merchandise, and more. To help your local business community grow, go to looklocalfirst.com and click on Texarkana.
Welcome back to the Power Hour with Huff and Gill. We got to do it 2 times like finesse. So shout out to our studio sponsors, Budweiser. I'm not on them buds. Well, I might get on them later. Yeah, I might get on later tonight, depending on how this game go. And Liberty Isle High School, where leopard pride never dies. LE is the label that pays me. Thank you so much. And we have
thank you for this week off.
Well, you hear me? And next week, because I will be in Dallas with my feet up after I get done with the conference, Dr. Brown. The haters will say different.
I wanna.
So we have Chase Brewster in the studio, man. He's dropping off good knowledge about the diamond, man. Chase Brewster, he's the most influential baseball person.
Shout out Styx.
Yeah, in like the state of not the state, nationally, man. Because like, so Morgan was like, "Yeah, man, I'm going with Styx." Yeah. So I was like, "All right, that's cool." But do you know who you're looking at? Because I was like, "Dude, Chase got pros out there."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You need to be looking." Ty, I love you, baby boy. But I said, Chase got some pros out there, like the MJCO.
MJ Sal.
Yeah, his CJ Sal.
Yeah, I saw him on Instagram. I was like,
well, I seen him on Overtime, and they had on a Styx jersey. I said, "What is?"
I said, "What?"
Whoa.
I said the same thing, man.
And those 2 guys. You have national.
What's the kid committed to Ohio State? CJ
Richards.
Oh man, I saw him. Oh,
where he from?
He from he go to Moeller, like where Ken Griffin is from, in Cincinnati. Good player, man. Very going to Ohio State. Very good player. Great family. Good player. So yeah, we love Morgan. Like, I don't know Morgan at Disney, so
yeah.
I hope Morgan.
I know I talked to him last night.
And the boo boo, we beat him.
Yeah, I wanted Morgan been really good to me, and I think we share a lot of the same qualities. So, we were supposed to shoot for his show last week, and they had to shoot. So I felt a little guilty coming on here first, but
it's all right. He'll be all right.
We got 2023 is the year of saying we're not saying no to any immediate requests. Because we can't, don't know how long this run gonna last.
It's gonna be a long run.
Yeah, I hope so. But a lot of people did that aren't here. But man, it's I was glad Morgan got to watch Ty, because I don't think that people realize how good a player Ty Wade is.
He's one of the best in this area, like in the state.
He is the best player in the area. He's the best player in the state of Arkansas.
Absolutely.
And in his class, like Arkansas right now has 2 or 3 like really, really good players.
Name them off for me real quick.
Slade Caldwell.
Fable.
Nah, so Slade Caldwell was a 10th ranked player in the nation out of Valley View in 25.
Ooh, we in Northeastern Jonesboro?
Yeah.
Woo.
And then 25, Landon Schaefer, who plays with us from Fayetteville. He's like 18th in the country. Team USA guy. Both of them are. So those 2 and Ty and Lance Davis out of Jonesboro, I would say are the best, probably 4 players in the state. But Ty's, like, in my opinion, I've been around since 2004 in the baseball scene, and like I would say, Ty's like got a chance to leave his name in history. I think he's really changed his body. Had the highest batting average in the biggest event.
He has changed his body.
He had the highest batting average in Jupiter this year, which is the biggest event in the world right now. And then we went out in Arizona before we got rained out. He was like 4 for 6 with 2 doubles. So if we'd have kept playing, he was going to do a lot of things. So I was glad like Morgan got to see that, because I get tired of like having to defend kids, and then again, it's not up for me to just tell you what I feel. I just get to see him more than everybody else. I think platforms like this and Texarkana Game Day and the newspaper and all that, hopefully the more video get out, you can realize that like, hey, Brendan Clark and Logan Davis and, the Ties of the world, like these are great players, and here's some video to show you. You can't be at every game on every Tuesday and every Friday. You just can't. And you can't be at every football game on Friday night. You got to hope that there's a random clip here at Prevo that you just, you got to see.
Yeah.
Hiring
video guys and stuff like that.
Ball and Johnson, just two good backs at Texas High. I mean, you can't watch them all at the same time.
Facts.
And I just think, what you guys do and Morgan and Nick Reed and all those guys, man, it's just giving a chance to let the city show who's doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
And it don't make you, it don't make you necessarily a good player because you do this or a bad player, but we can start making judgments based on what we see. I think a lot of times everybody wants to say who's a good player and who's not, or who don't deserve this without ever watching them.
Yeah.
And now I think some of the stuff that you guys are providing, you can make your own opinion without listening. And I think that's what the beauty of all this is, in my opinion.
Talk about your podcast, because me and Tyler got to come on. We got to do some cross branding. But man, your guests have been crazy.
Yeah,
you got Oklahoma State pitching coach. You
LSU
got pitching coach. You got the mayor of Little Rock.
Actual guys that are playing. You got everybody, man.
Today, today Wednesday, today Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So tomorrow we got, Jeremy Sheetner, who got like 35,000 followers on Twitter. So even the guys that aren't the universities that aren't as recognized, we've had some really impactful people. And listen, the Chase Brewster Show is something that meant a lot to me. Like getting older is a really weird thing. Like one day you wake up and you go like, hey, I want to be a part of something bigger.
Yeah. Like
this baseball's great, Texarkana is great, but like I want to be a part of changing those things.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be a part of it. I want to help change Texarkana baseball, and I want to help change, the lives that we're involved in. So I think I got the best network of friends. I think like just so many, including y'all. I mean, every day I have conversations with people I love and adore. So why not put a microphone in there?
Yeah.
I tried to get you on and both of you guys on, and like I'll take a second to defend Earl. Like, and a lot of people will run you down to me, but I'll tell anybody like I would on this platform is, hey, anybody been good to me, I'm gonna be good to. You say whatever you want, but that's y'all's decision.
Yeah.
Like that's y'all's business. And I think that's important for me and as an adult and as a businessman to go like, hey, if everybody listened to what people said about me, I might not have these businesses.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have you on and you guys on because hey, Hope graduate, you got a degree from University of Arkansas in journalism. That's not a normal route.
Yeah.
And at the time, probably not a cool route.
Yeah.
And it's way easier to be Earl Gill than it is to be like LaMichael James.
Absolutely.
It's way easier to change the world, through journalism, through broadcasting, through radio, than it is to rush for 1,000 yards in the NFL.
Absolutely.
It's just, some of it's God-given and extreme work ethic, but the other one you can do.
Just learning over time.
Or just looking like me and you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, 2 plus-size guys that somehow are on radio and telling our story. And I just think that's how my story is. I mean, you talked about helping minorities. I mean, I'll help anybody that deserves a chance because, like, we grew up extremely poor. My dad don't like for me to tell it that way, but I mean, I didn't know that people don't take vacations. I didn't know that you're supposed to have more than one car in the family. I didn't know that, like, hey, my dad sleeping in the hallway so me and my brother could have our own room wasn't normal. And so now that I am older, like, how do I help change all that? Like, because what I think is important is I didn't necessarily have a great athletic ability. I didn't have $1 million somebody gave me when I turned 18. I could have easily been working wherever for 6 months, getting fired, working somewhere else. We did all this through treating people right and working hard, and the rest of it came. All the success came when we treated people right. And what I would like to think, there's people that don't like me, but anybody that knows me, we've had a problem. I would like to think they say, hey, he made it right. You might have had a problem with Styx. You might have played for a different coach. You might have, tournament director. One time we lost a kid because the umpire had COVID. Had to have one umpire in the field. And they didn't like the tournament that we played in. Well, I can't do nothing about that. I wasn't there. But I would think anybody that says, hey, Chase Brewster is this or that, you go like, hey, you had a situation with him?
Yeah.
If they say, yeah, I guarantee you almost that they'll say, hey, he made it right. He treated my kid, us right. He was honest with us. And that's what I want, man. I want the people to know on my show that, hey, you work hard, you treat people right, and you can do whatever you want to do.
Do right.
And I know you can because all three of us did it.
Absolutely.
And I don't know Tyler's story as good as you because I know you for a long time, but I mean, I think everybody in my circle is like that.
Yeah.
Of just successful people that had to work really hard and had to put the work in. And that's why we started the podcast. And it's been great, man. We got what people don't know is like we hadn't announced some of the bigger names.
Yeah.
Like people, the first season was great. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. I don't look the part. I don't sound the part. I don't know what I'm doing. But like, you're never going to be as good as when you first start.
Right.
Ever. Like episode 10 going to be better than episode 1.
Absolutely.
Episode 100 going to be better than episode 10. Or you ain't no good at what you don't love what you do. And so we just had to get started. And if my first 10 guests I thought were great. Now I look back and I go, hey, Them was advertisers.
Better,
And it's 6 months from now, you're gonna be like, wow, we don't even need to listen to them. And but man, it's just been great. I appreciate everybody being a part of it. And it's a lot of fun, man. You guys know you do it for a living, man. It's a lot of fun getting to help and have a voice. And hopefully, I'm naive enough to believe that millions of people listen to my show and listen to this show. And if one person listening, we can change how they think or what their vision is, then good, man. It was working up very early this morning. So
tell them where they can find it at, man. Where can they find it?
Yeah, you can type in the Chase Brewster Show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. There's some legal work on Apple Podcasts. We're still waiting to get cleared, but eventually on either one, you can type it in. Season 1's all online on YouTube as well. So you just type in the Chase Brewster Show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You'll be able to listen to everything.
Man, that's man, I just want to say thank you for helping those kids from LE out too. Like we have kids that are in your program, and last year one of them was named Perfect Game Player of the tournament, and it helped out his recruit. It's started his situations and but man, like so heavy is the head that rears the crown. You know what I'm saying? So like, how do you? Okay, so this weekend I'm sitting down at a table with a national writer. And we had kids coming through like a cattle call, right? Getting profiles made. And he was like, so which ones do you want to have 3 stars? Which one do you want to have 4 stars? And I was like, whoa. So I had to start delegating stars to people. And I felt wrong about like, well, maybe this dude should, How do you do that? Because I know that Perfect Game has an end with you, Baseball America. I've read the articles about you.
I think it goes back to what I said earlier. You just got to be honest.
Yeah.
I would like to think as a human being, you didn't make someone a 4-star because you just like them.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody said, hey, do I think Tyway's a 5-star hitter? I go, yeah, because he is.
Yeah.
He might not always show you, but I've seen it because I'm with him every day. And I think just being honest, and you can't hide the truth. We could lie and we could get someone to wherever, or they could fake it and get to wherever, but they still got to play.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, the portal and transferring is like the worst thing.
Yes.
Like it's not the like the end all be all. Like you can portal into a good situation. Don't get me wrong.
Facts.
But like I don't ever want a kid to go somewhere and I think, well, hey, you're gonna go there for a year and transfer. You're gonna get a better situation. You're gonna get exposed.
Yeah.
Like I go like, hey, that's a good fit for you to get a degree. Because that degree gonna last longer than the dreams of playing pro ball.
Absolutely.
And so I just think we've been honest, man. It just sounds cliche, and I've said it a couple. I wish I could find another answer, but it's just all about being honest. Like, if anybody's asked my opinion on any player, they have the ability to change my opinion like anybody else.
Yeah,
and they work hard. They put the work in. LE kids work really hard. Coach Fowler. I mean, you talk about a staff now. I mean, Zach Fowler and Rick Fowler and Craig Jones and Ricky Rushing. Man, those guys get after it. I hate Ricky's coaching, or I hate Rick Fowler's coaching again because he cleans my pool, so I can't get the kind of service I used to.
I heard he was a pool guy.
Yeah,
I didn't believe it.
He don't show up now because he got practice every day.
Rick, he put Tyler in the headlock last year. It was funny.
But you talk about I can remember being a young kid. You want to talk about circle of life? Anybody listening? Like those guys might not have been. But there's a day where I tell you, like Craig and like Rick didn't like each other. They can say it however they want. But
they had smoke back in the day.
I mean, LEPG was the rivalry of town.
Right.
I ain't gonna say they don't like each other. That's foul of me to say. But I'm gonna say on
as
that
competitors,
Tuesday and Friday, everybody wanted to get after it. And now they're working together, man.
Right.
And, I just got the utmost respect for everybody. Zach, I went to LA in the 7th grade, so I got a little bit of leopard in me. But getting to school with Zach and Will and all those guys and being around them and Ricky, we're all in the same grade. So Zach and Ricky won a state championship. They believe it. They love it. They've turned down a lot of jobs to stay there. And don't nobody love it more than Rick. And Craig's more invested with 2 kids. Maybe, I told somebody yesterday, you want product. Now, we can talk about good players and we can talk about 6'4" players and big players, but you start talking about like productive players. Like, I mean, Cal Jones gets, everything he's got out of his body, every single bat, and WT's just as good. I know they're both good football players too, but there's just a lot of good things going on in LA. It's all the high schools, man. It's the best the city ever been, in my opinion. There's so many good young players, man. It's just a great time for the city right now, in my opinion.
For sure. I totally agree with you, man. And the best is yet to come for the city. But the best is yet to come for the Power Hour, too, because we'll be right back with one more segment featuring Chase Brewster of Styx Baseball here on 107.9 The Fan.
but just necessarily the game itself, like the love I got for it, just fiery. You feel me? Anytime I step out there, I'm ready to perform, put on the show.
Trust no skeezers on the beat, so I know it's slapping.
Welcome back to the Power Hour with Huff and Gill, and we have Chase Brewster here as a special guest. And man, you've had some really good players that I've followed, and you've done the right things for. One is an Ashdown kid, straight out of Ogden. His name is Jaden Hill.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden actually walked Alicia's mom down the aisle at my wedding. You know, so it was me and Kentrell the same age, his brother. And,
okay, shout out Kentrell. Yeah, he played for the Giants.
Yeah, I promise you, he's still asleep right now. But Woog a good dude, man. And I can't thank Nikki and Kenneth enough. Like they really believed, and like Jaden could have played football anywhere he wanted to.
Absolutely,
and probably a better basketball player than anything, really.
I didn't know that.
Dad, one of the best basketball players ever come out of Texarkana. So, but he had a vision, and I'm super proud of him, man. We're proud of Braylon, all of them, man. It's too many. I'm gonna forget somebody if I start trying to name them off, and I don't want to be that guy. But Nick and Sean. I mean, it's so many fans come through and change their lives. We always talk about how we change kids' lives, but I mean, like hell, they'll change yours in a hurry now.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's just been some great families, and we've been very fortunate. And we just Billy and Christy and the Wades, and we talked about the Bryans. Just so many good people coming up, man, and good families, and really wanting the best for them because they're gonna come back one day and be us.
Facts.
Somebody gonna come back and be on this radio and have a summer program. I'm gonna be long retired, at some point. So I think it's important to to believe in people, and Jaden was one of those ones. Man, he made me a better person, and he was at the Rock Nation brunch last week.
I saw that.
Now, so
it was.
That was dope.
He signed the Rock Nation, right?
Yeah. So Andrew Guerrero, his age, Andrew having his babies today, his twins, they getting delivered right now. So, Jaden got a lot of good people in his circle.
Jaden was at the Rock Nation brunch?
He was, man. I saw it. I thought I told you.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to get there next year, man. Somebody gotta go pro, man. Come on.
It's exciting for them, man.
Yeah.
And he's one, man. It's his story. When he's a big leaguer, he gets to tell his story. Like it's one of a lot of adversity. He had some good coaches. I mean, Chuck Cross was on him hard, and Coach Fowler was there. A lot of other Coach Shepard, a lot of other people. But man, they believed in it. He believed in himself, and he gonna make the city proud, I think. So.
Oh yeah.
So what are some of your, I guess I'll say personal, or maybe even for your club, your organization, what are some of your goals that you want to achieve out of this whole deal, man, and maybe outside of this whole deal? What are some of the goals that Chase wants to achieve personally?
Man, I just think it's ironic you said that, because that's one of the questions I ask every guest on my podcast. And I don't know that I ever thought about it, but I think something that's important to me personally is I spent my whole life being like a baseball guy, and I want to get out of that. Like when somebody introduced me, I don't want it to necessarily be like, hey, baseball coach. There's so much more we could do to help change this whole thing, man.
Facts.
We could, and I got some great mentors like, Steve Landers and Kyle Davis, and just some of these guys that, show me business on the outside of things, and just being involved anything I can that like is not so centric around like success and failure of a player. Like the one thing I hate about my job is like, hey, I'm great when the kid plays well.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Earl Good goes out today, hits 2 home runs, hey, the Styx the best program in the country, and Chase Brewster the best coach. And if Earl Good goes 0 for 4 tomorrow with 4 Ks, hey, we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
And I want to try to get evolved in some change, you know, and just getting to see what Cedric Harris did, him and Marie with the Be Like CJ Foundation, and getting to be a part of that, just seeing how you could touch people so much more without, you know, the actual sport being involved. I want to just help progress in that. And personally and professionally, man, we got invited to USA. There's only 12 teams in the country get to go to USA. So we're the White Sox scout team this summer. So all our kids get to wear all the White Sox gear. It's only about 10 summer programs in the country. That's the scout team. So we're kind of at the pinnacle, I think, professionally. I guess every year it feels like we go to another level. But I just want to what I want to do more than anything professionally is really represent. You know, it's one thing to think you should play in these events and to be in these events, and you know, then when you get invited to it, you still want to represent the Styx and the White Sox and Texarkana and all these individual cities these kids are from. We want to make everybody proud, and I think that's just my goal this year, man. Is just to do something that when it come up, people are proud of. So
are you a White Sox fan now?
Man, you know, I love the Yankees more than anything. And we got some ties to the Rays.
Kopech, what's his name?
Mike Kopech. He came and spoke to the team.
Is he from Texarkana?
He's from Mount Pleasant.
Okay. Did he go to Texas High?
No, he went to Mount Pleasant.
Did his sister go to Texas High?
No, I think Casey went to Danger.
That's why I thought she went to Texas High. He's from Texas High.
No, she actually. I think she lived older than me, but I think she went to Dangerfield. But you know, Kopech came and spoke to the team, man. And, his message was great. Like he had some adversity, you know, and just again, man, he stayed with it. He worked hard. He did what he needed to do, and he another one, man. Like I consider Mount. I don't necessarily consider Texarkana, but I consider it close enough that you can really dream on it, and it's a great family. And their dad just got named judge or something over in Mount Pleasant. So everything they do right now, touching the goal. So we're happy for them as well. And I like what Rod Cummins and the White Sox did as far as our players. You know, the White Sox were so like they were like, hey, you got good players now. Let's learn why they're good. Let's learn what kind of kids they are. Like they just like last year, Peyton Paulette was a second rounder, and Peyton played with us before he went to Arkansas, and that's what kind of got the ball rolling. And then their first rounder, he played on the White Sox area code team, so they got to meet those guys and be around those guys before they actually drafted them, and that's what kind of all led to this. So I'm super appreciative and a fan of like they put their money where their mouth was and said like, hey, let's get to know. Like, because we live in an analytical world where that still don't make you a good player.
Absolutely.
You know, Cal Jones is a good example. We talked about, like, he ain't the biggest, he ain't the strongest, but I promise you, he one of the hardest to ever get out. And that's what the White Sox are looking for. So I'm super appreciative and a fan of that. And we got some good things lined up with them. So I am a fan of, like, the organization because they believe in a lot more of it than other organizations.
Man, that's huge, man. And I don't know, man. I really appreciate you helping black kids, bro. I mean, I just, you have no idea, like,
especially in the sport.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that needs money, and sometimes they come from socioeconomic situations to where they don't have it. But
you know, the thing for me is, and I appreciate this with my dad. Like, you know, to me, all I see is like, hey, we need black kids to play. We need minorities to play. Like, I'm ignorant enough to watch that Super Bowl and get mad that. Like the MLB didn't give Tyreek or Patrick Mahomes enough money to never play football. Hey, the Chiefs should have never won that Super Bowl because the best athlete in the country right now should be playing baseball. You know, Kyler Murray should have never played football. And so I don't never look at it as like helping black kids. We're going to help kids. You know, like Eastside Golf, like I'm a big fan right now, and we supported what they were doing. I mean, I can't imagine why we wouldn't all want minorities to play golf.
Yeah.
You know, why we all would want to play baseball. It's going to make the sport better.
Absolutely.
And, you know, hopefully the minorities we do have, there's a lot of good minority things going on right now. We're trying to help with the minority baseball, the MVP. So, you know, we're trying to help those guys as well because as these kids grow up, they'll be able to get back.
Absolutely.
And then, you know, it's one thing for us to put help in, but when those guys get done playing, Tink Henson's, Jaden Hills, Braylon Bishop of the world, when they get to come back and say, look, I did this.
Yeah.
You know, then it'll just keep, and I'll be dead and gone probably, but in 50 years, hopefully it won't be like that anymore.
I just think that, you know, kids need a certain representation I've seen Tink with his necklace.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I've seen Braylon with his dread. We saw Braylon with his
Yeah,
dreads.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So the kids need to see someone that looks like them and to know that it can be obtainable. You know what I mean?
I think first kids need to know white, black, purple, whatever, that somebody believes in them.
Yes.
You know, and I
Yes.
think that's what we do a good job of. And it's easy. It's easy to believe in Tink. Tink's one of the greatest human beings in the world.
Yeah.
And we love bro. We believe in all of them, man. And some of you believe in more than others.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said we didn't.
Yeah.
But first of all, you need somebody to believe in, and you need somebody to look up to, and then you want somebody that looks like you, I think. And
Absolutely.
I can do the first part of it.
You wear Jordan shorts. I've noticed the swag you got.
I mean, I'm a pretty good dresser if that's what anybody's wondering.
Well, I'm just saying that's something that kids can relate to. You're not like the coach that wears the tight pants and look crazy.
He ain't wearing Rydell's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Russell.
I think culture is more than just white and black personally. That's not really for me to say, but
Yeah.
I think we have a very open culture of, hey, it's okay to be yourself.
Yes.
And, you know, I think that's what's important right now.
Yeah.
Well,
he knows when to stop.
He does.
That's all right.
Media train, he told us.
He did say that.
Man, Chase, appreciate you joining us today, man.
Appreciate you guys, man. Everything y'all do for the city.
Yes, sir, man. Hopefully we can get you back on soon. And good luck to the Lady Leopards tonight. Good luck to the Leopards, the boys, Coach Brewer tonight as well. Me and Gil will have the girls game live on 107.1 KTFS. Join us on the Power Hour as well. We appreciate you joining us on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. Have a good Tuesday.
And friends.
Take it easy. Have a blessed week.
It's football season, and that means getting together